Hi everyone, this is just a short video around self-care when learning. Remember, our brains are doing an awful lot of extra work while we're learning, so it's important to look after it. Eating, drinking water and sleeping well will help us to learn better. So try and get into a good routine, things like eating breakfast in the morning, making sure we drink plenty of water throughout the day and get at least 8 hours sleep at night will all help us to learn better and more effectively, and avoid us from getting distracted by hunger or thirst or tiredness. The other thing we need to think about is our motivation for studying. Why are we doing what we are doing? It's different for everybody. Perhaps it's to get good results or to do an exam that you've always wanted to get done, to make your family proud or yourself proud, to change careers or master a new skill or get a new qualification, or perhaps you like the challenges of having deadlines. Write it down or print off a picture that reminds you of this motivation. Put it up somewhere that you'll see it every day, at the fridge or in the bathroom when you're doing your teeth. It'll help you on those days where you're a little less enthusiastic about the choice you have made. The next thing to remember is to have a space that is conducive to learning or helps with your learning. If at all possible, try and create a space that is quiet for you. If it's not possible at home, maybe it is in your further education centre or in your local library. Make sure you have all your equipment and books and everything you need beside you so that you're not running up and down stairs or in and out of rooms to gather it all together. This avoids time wasting. If you're using technology, make sure it's fully charged or that you're near a plug in order to keep it charged while you're working. If possible, let other people in your house know it's your study time and ask them not to disturb you unless it is really urgent. This is just another way of looking after yourself and managing your time. Good lighting is always going to be essential to avoid strain on your eyes and to avoid headaches. If you keep your chair and table at a comfortable height, it'll prevent muscular strain at the end of a long study day. Most importantly, try to avoid distractions. If possible, leave your phone outside of the room, or at the least, have it silenced. Remember, 40 minutes of learning without distractions is better than 1 hour of learning while looking at your phone. It keeps you focused if you don't have distractions around you. Now, some of you might know this little story told by a university professor in a lecture hall. He brought in a jar and some stones and smaller stones and sand. He put the big stones into the jar and asked the class if they thought the jar was full, and they agreed that it was. Then he put in some smaller stones and shook them down among the bigger stones. And then he asked them if it was full, and they thought it was. But then he added sand and shook that down. And then he asked them if it was full, and this time they said yes, it was definitely full. And this was to demonstrate how we should treat our priorities. The big stones are the things that are most important to us, and if we don't put those into the jar first, they will not fit at the end. So make sure our big stones, such as giving ourselves time and space to learn, are put into the jar before we agree to things that are smaller or less important at this point in time. This means learning to say no to certain things. This is the sand. We can't always agree to everything when we have our priorities in order. And this is a good lesson for us to learn in our learning life and in our work life. So I hope you have found this little video helpful, and thank you for listening.